Israelites. We come out week in and week out to prophesy the downfall of this kingdom, Babylon, that you call the United States of America. First of all, I'd like to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahashem, Yahawah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations to all the brothers and the elect around the nation, around the country, around the world, doing this work with sincerity and truth. I'm out here, we out here, the brothers in Vegas, we out here with fellowshipping with the brothers in Los Angeles. And it's the reason we got together is because of the internet. You call it the internet, the Bible calls it the unicorn. We're gonna go into that right now. Without the unicorn, most of us would not be here, especially the ones on the West Coast, because this word was over in the East Coast in New York first. And we got the word through the unicorn. So the first script I like to go into is Psalms 19:1.
This is Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge.
That's right. Day unto day uttereth speech, night unto night showeth knowledge. The internet, you can turn it on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and get this word. This internet has brought all these brothers together and has united us, the 12 tribes of Israel, throughout the world. Everybody on this sign, blacks, natives, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, we're coming together by way of this unicorn, which was prophesied, but it's also a mystery of how this got together, because it's been talked about for years. But the prophecy came out in 07 through the elders of Great Millstone, and this is why we're here today.
There is no speech nor language where their voice is not heard. Their line is going out through all the earth.
That's right. Once again, the speech is not there's no language. We got, if you can see, we got Hispanic brothers that are in the camp. And one thing that Esau does not want to see is the Hispanics and so-called blacks get together. And we are breaking that language barrier, which a lot of them do their live shows and streams in Espanol. So there's not a language that can't be reached through the unicorn. You can change that language at any time now. Go ahead, bro.
You span the camera, they over there teaching the same things in the other language, in Spanish. So there's no excuse for you Negro, Latino, and Native Americans to not come out if this word is striking something within you.
To back off what you're saying, we even got brothers that teach in sign language, you know?
Yep.
You know, so that shows you the power of Yahawah Shah.
That's right. And one of the things that have been keeping us blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans from reuniting is the language barrier. Yep. This language barrier has kept us apart for the longest, because Esau made sure that we knew that it was tried to push a division between us by letting us know that we weren't the same people just based off language alone. But we got so many other traits that unite us. We are very talented people, all of us. We like the same things. We got rhythm. We are artistic. There's a lot of things that we share together. We damn sure like the same foods. We eat the hell out of some chicken. But polo or whatever you want to call it, we eat that. So read that again, bro.
This is Psalms 19:4. The line is going out through all the earth.
The line is going out. The line is this telecommunication line, fiber optic line, the cable lines. The lines have gone out throughout the earth. And these lines, which have been Esau has built throughout the whole world, is bringing us together again, once again, with the unicorn.
If I might say this, eventually the Most High created that line to eventually bring all the tribes together through the word, man. All right. It took for everybody to hear this word being preached from the apostles and elders on down for everybody to come together through the spirit, man. The spirit and understanding of this word, man, and knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, man. And that's part of the breath that the Lord was going to breathe upon the dry bones to eventually restore us back to being a nation, man. And that's the building process that we're in right now, man. Israel is coming back alive. Eventually, that's why the so-called white man is becoming more nervous, because he's seeing the revival of the nation of Israel.
That's right.
All right. So, hey, and that's the reason why these devils is gonna try to shut down the internet real soon.
Yeah.
Because they hate that this word is become an epidemic, man. It's spreading, man. Okay? It's spread throughout the world, so that's the reason why they gotta put a halt to the internet, man. That's why they gonna try to put restrictions on YouTube to try to get brothers' channels shut down. It's because too much is going out, man. Because this is a threat to his new world order. He doesn't want this coming out, man. But it's too late, because the Heavenly Father, he's in control, man.
That's right.
That's right.
So that's all I have to say.
Quick. This is Romans 10 and 18. But I say, have they not heard? Yes, verily. Their sound went into all the earth, and their words unto the ends of the world.
That's right. This internet reaches all across the world, man. That's why they call it WWW, the World Wide Web. It's reaching everybody. That's why they say all eyes shall see him. Everybody sees what's going on. Esau can't hide nothing no more. He does something at one time, it's crossed the globe in about 2 minutes. Everybody knows what's going on. That's why it's hard for him to hide his wickedness now. Read on.
This is Psalms 9, back in Psalms. This is Psalms 19 and 4. The line is going out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. And them hath he set a tabernacle for the sun.
Okay, that's it on that. Give me go to Job. Go to Job. Go to Job 39 and 7.
This is Job chapter 39, verse 7. He scorneth the multitude of the city, neither regardeth he the crying of the driver.
Okay, we're gonna go back into and explain how this unicorn actually works. I know when I was a youngster, people used to try to discard the Bible and say, if you believe in the Bible, you also believe in unicorns. Well, guess what? I believe in unicorns, because the unicorn that Esau tried to teach us was a mythical character. But the unicorn that the Bible speaks of is not a mythical character. And if you were brought up in the early 90s, 80s, you remember the first computers. Read that again, bro. I'm gonna break something.
Job chapter 39, verse 7. He scorneth the multitude of the city, neither regardeth he the crying of the driver.
Yes, the crying of the driver. If you had a computer back in the 90s, the first ones especially, the driver of your computer made a screeching sound, like it was crying out. That crying out, he says he doesn't regard the crying of the driver. You youngsters ain't gonna know that, but if you had a computer back in the day, that hard drive would make a screeching sound if you was working in overtime. Period. Like a fax machine, but it was. Read, bro.
Keep going down.
Yeah, keep reading.
Job chapter 39, verse 8. The range of the mountain is his pasture.
That's right. The range of his mountains is his pasture. The internet is just as, and it connects to your phone as well. This goes into your phones as well. Everybody's cell phone and computer, you need range on your computer. If you are out of range on your cell phone, you get no service. Same thing with this internet. If you are not in range, you get no service. If you ain't paying for your service, you get no service. This internet is about communication, and you gotta be in range for it to reach you. Read on, bro.
And he searcheth after every green
And
thing.
he searches after every green thing, which is power. It's searching after the power. Without that power, it doesn't work. Keep going, bro.
Will the unicorn be willing to serve thee or abide by thy crib?
That's right. Will it be willing to serve thee and abide by thy crib? Who else used the word crib besides blacks and Hispanics? We are the ones who come up with that term crib. The crib is also a place where you rest. It's a place where your mother sat you when you was born. It's the crib. We reside in the crib. So the scripture is asking, will the unicorn be willing to abide by thy crib?
And like it said, Jacob dwelleth in tents. Another word for crib is tent.
It's a tent.
Another word for tents is house. All the same thing.
Because we are plain, man, we like chilling.
Yep.
And we gonna do a lot of things in our leisure, and we like chilling at the crib. Keep going, bro.
Verse 10. Canst thou bind the unicorn with his band in the furrow?
Okay, let's go back to what with your internet and your phone. You need broadband to make your phone work. Broadband communication. Go ahead, bro.
To pick up the frequencies.
That's right.
You know, the frequencies is what matters. There's frequencies all over here. You gotta have the right tuning to be able to pick it up.
The bandwidth.
Yeah, like I'm gonna bring up this quick point. You was mentioning about Jake, like the chill at the crib, right? So Esau got this term that he called Jake porch monkeys, right? Porch monkeys come from Jake chilling on their porch. So they say that's a bunch of monkeys on the porch, so they call it porch monkeys because Jake chill at the crib.
It's chill, man.
Well, he out wandering.
We like to leave.
He's all about in the field.
We ain't climbing mountains, you know. Jake ain't out there just shooting bears for no reason and shit. We are leisure. We like to be catered to, and we like leisure, man. You know, and when our leisure time is when we do things, and it's most of our activities are leisure activities, man. You know, if Jake reading a book, he's sitting down reading a book. If he watching TV, he's sitting down reading the TV, watching TV. Or he doing something, he playing chess or something. But it's leisure. We were kings, man. We supposed to be catered to. So that's why we got our women to bring us something. Bring me a beer, bring me some food. We kings, man. We are leisure people, man. Read on, bro.
I'm gonna start at verse 10 again.
Canst thou bind the unicorn with his band in the furrow, or will he harrow the valleys after thee?
Once again, you need that reception. Sometimes you got to put your phone in the air to get that reception, and you might go outside to get that reception. And that as you're doing that, you're trying to catch that frequency. So you keep going. Read on, bro.
Verse 11, wilt thou trust him because his strength is great, or wilt thou leave thy labor to him?
Once again, you need strength on your phone. You look at your phone, you look at those bars, and you say, you have any strength in your phone? Is it picking up? And far as labor, with this internet, research becomes easier. Before the internet, you had to go to the library to do all your research. So you had to get them books and do that research, that labor, that hard labor. Well, the labor is being done for you. All you got to do now is Google, text in what you want, and you're gonna get that. You're gonna get the information back to you. So, will you trust that information that's coming back to you? And you can't trust everything. Sometimes you got to go out and research that. You might have to go get those books to research that information you just got off the internet, because there's a lot of disinformation on the internet as well. Right. So you can't just leave the labor to him, but he does a lot of the heavy lifting for you.
If I may say,
go ahead.
It's all about asking the right questions. When you Google something, you got to be able to ask the right question. When you know how to phrase the right question, it makes the answer, the more specific answer come to you. So you even have to study or research on how to ask the right questions to get the right and full answers. You know?
That's right.
Just as a study tool. Go ahead.
Keep going.
Yeah, read.
Wilt thou believe, verse 12, wilt thou believe him that he will bring home thy seed and gather it into thy barn?
Okay, now the seed is the seed of Israel. Give me Deuteronomy 33 and 33. Hold on, let me see. 33 and 17.
This is Deuteronomy chapter 33, verse 17.
Explain the seed right quick.
His glory is like the fistling of his bullock, and his horns are like the horns of unicorns. With them he shall push thy people together to the ends of the earth, and they are the 10,000 of Ephraim.
Hold on, I got the wrong one. My bad.
Unicorn was in that though.
Yeah, the unicorns is in there, but that's not what I really wanted yet. I didn't want that yet. The seed. Well, go ahead, keep going.
I started.
Go ahead.
And they that are 10,000 of Ephraim.
Once again, these are the seeds of the 12 tribes of Israel. The seeds, it says, will the unicorn gather thy seed in the barn? The barn is Yasharallah bringing the seed back to the Most High. Will he bring the seed to the barn? And like I was saying, the seed are the 12 tribes of Israel. Will the unicorn be able to gather us all together? And it's doing that right now.
I want to bring out this word because you were saying that some sometimes you gotta have your phone and you gotta hold it up to the bar so you can get reception, right? So I looked up the word reception, and it's part of the definition of reception. It says a receiving ceremonial gathering.
There it is.
That's
That's it.
assembly.
Unicorn, right?
Yeah.
And that's how we all been gathered.
That's
Like
how
the
we been
brother
gathered.
said, we've been gathered by the apostles being on the internet.
Unicorn.
On YouTube.
Hey, we were all called out from the internet, man.
Yeah, church.
You know, church.
Yeah. That's how we all got together, man. I know I wouldn't have gotten this information if it wasn't for the internet. As a matter of fact, I was one of them cats who didn't even like getting online.
Right.
So when it came to me, it was like the perfect vehicle. Because I didn't like nothing about New York City. So I knew I wasn't going to go to New York and see the apostles. So when I heard this word on the unicorn, it was like, whoa. Now I got a reason if I ever go to New York to go to New York. I looked at New York as a place that hadn't been spit, shit, or stepped on. Every spot in it. So I never wanted to see it. And I had chances, but I turned them down. So this unicorn definitely brought me my attention to New York, where the apostles was based. Go ahead, bro.
Deuteronomy or Job?
Go back to Job. Wait a minute. You know what? As a matter of fact, go to Daniel's now.
This is Daniel 12:4. But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Exactly. Knowledge shall be increased. How is knowledge being increased? By this unicorn. Esau can't hide nothing. The police shoot you, we can see it through the eyes of the unicorn.
Right.
There's nothing that's hid anymore. Nothing. If you do dirt 25 years ago, if there's any video footage of it, we can go online and see it. There's nothing hid.
That knowledge being increased represents, you know, the fact that you're going to have more advanced technology in the last days. You know what I'm saying? Brothers is able to do lessons on smartphones, tablets, you know, laptops, whatever, so on and so forth, man. We use this technology to our advantage to basically make a platform to get this word out, man. That's the Heavenly Father, hey, man, he's the ultimate supreme intelligence, man. You know, this white man, he didn't come up with this shit by himself. This technology existed way long ago, man. You have the Urim and the Thummim that the priest dealt with, man, thousands of years ago. Okay, and that knowledge resurfaced, but now it's actually increased, man.
Right.
You know.
If I just want to make a quick brief history of common knowledge about how it was and how it is now, how it used to be. We had a lot of things in our culture that we just passed down, and it was passed down that way. Some things were watered down, some things were forgotten, some things were remembered, some things were added onto it, and it got watered down till we forgot it. Well, now with this unicorn, we can go get the whole direct text and the source of it every time. We don't have to try to, oh, grandmama about to die. We better remember the way they used to do. We ain't got to do that no more. They don't have to pass it down. We can go right to the internet and get the source where they got it from. The books that they read and read it without traveling to whatever country to find the last copy of this book or that book. You know, so, and that knowledge being increased is only helping us to reveal the truth about this word. Because there were seals in that scripture about Daniel. There were seals that were blocking us from understanding this truth. You know, in the proper context. Now that the seals have been broken, we can see certain things, and then we can go back and prove it in actual, in reality, so to speak, to make sure that it's stamped of approval in the spirit.
You like to add in on that. That's why those church lords, the churches, what do they say? Oh, we can't go into Revelations because it's sealed. Right. We don't have an understanding of that. Well, that's the separation that the Most High set forth, that you can't go in those books.
Right.
But the men who he set up, the apostles and elders, break the whole book down. So that people can know who they need to be gathered under. Those who the Most High gave that knowledge to.
I was gonna say, like the mark of the beast in the book of Revelation, right? Like there wasn't that technology back then, but now we ain't actually, a lot of us haven't actually seen the chip with our own eyes, but we see it all over the internet, and it lines right up with the scripture. You know, because we haven't taken the chip, So, Lord willing, we don't take the chip, you know. But we know that the chip is real because it's all over the internet. We can see that actual device out there and line it up with the description of that same device in the book of Revelation, the 13th chapter. Or come across it or through word of mouth. We can actually go look at the direct information of those that have already done the heavy lifting, as the brother said.
If I may a lot of people do their research, they don't even have to go straight to the library. They just go right on Google and shit, man. You look up a lot of stuff, you just go on your phone and go through them different search engines, and you get a lot of information, man. You know, back then, back in the 90s and the 80s, prior to, you know, this internet thing, like the apostles and elders, they had to deal with actual raw books, man. You know? They had to go right into the books. They had to do a lot of, it took a lot of labor in searching through different books to get the information, man.
It wasn't an Adam online. You know?
It wasn't a blue letter Bible back then.
No, none of that.
You know? You didn't have none of that. All right?
Them men, and those men deserve double honors for doing all that research, man. They went to Harvard, Yale to go find those actual books that had the knowledge in it. You know, where we come from the information age where they're just thrown at you. There's so much information, so it's even more heinous, so to speak, for lack of a better term, of you niggas that don't do the research, man. Because it's so easy. You ain't gotta go 10 miles to the library to go to find this book to do this research and take that and then go to another one in another city or another state to go look that up like they had to. They went and did it, and they continued to believe throughout all of that, and now this just makes them able to further support.
They did it, brother, because they was in love, bro.
Right.
They was in love with Sophia, man.
They go that far.
You know, you in love and you look. And you do whatever it takes. What's the scripture say? Hate not laborers work. Yep. So it's been made easier and more simpler for us now. You know? Go ahead, drop what you know.
This is 2nd Esdras 6:20. And when the world that shall begin to vanish away shall be finished, then will I show these tokens. The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together.
What's a token, man? It's like, what's a token? A token is like treasure. It's like a jewel, right?
Yeah.
The tokens in this sense is talking about the knowledge, wisdom, understanding of the truth. Yep. You must being able to know what's the real truth breakdown in Daniel, what's the breakdown in Revelations, the true breakdown of Genesis, all the dark sands that's in Genesis. Hell, Genesis 1 and 1, it got most of the world screwed up. You know, all the stuff that the Most High revealed to the knowledge of to understanding of the brothers that we have. Those are the tokens that's been given in these last days. Right. And it's going to be made manifest. Show them for it. You got it, bro. Agree.
The books shall be opened before the firmament, and they shall see all together. And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old.
Go to 2nd Esdras.
Jump back up.
Yeah.
Jump back up a few verses and read back down.
That's what I want.
The 2nd Esdras 6 and 17. And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood up on my feet and hearkened. And behold, there was a voice that spake as the sound of it was like the sound of many waters.
Man, who got the voice of many waters, man? Yahawah Shai, man. You know? Yahawah Shai is the voice of many waters, man. He was the one that opened up those seals for us to get the understanding, man.
Revelation the 5th chapter.
Revelation the 5th chapter, man. You know, he was that lamb that was worthy to loosen the seals.
Right.
So now, the men of the Lord got the understanding through him. I start with the apostles on down. I started with their elders too.
Right, and that's how you know in Revelation 3rd chapter, like the 19th, 20th verse, he's supping with the apostles. That's how they get it. He doesn't have to be here Through the Spirit, he's supping with those men.
That's right.
And what is he doing? He's feeding those men, and those men are feeding us.
That's right. Keep going, brother.
And it happened that when I had heard it, I stood up upon my feet and hearkened. And behold, there was a voice that spake, as the sound of it was like the sound of many waters. And it said, Behold, the days come that I will begin to draw nigh and to visit them that dwell upon the earth.
Hey, we at that time right now, man. You know, this is that time, man. We seeing the prophecies occurring, and we're able to go. When we see major events take place on the planet Earth, we're able to go right into the scriptures, open up the book, and see exactly where it was said aforetime, man. We're in that time right now. That's how you know we at the end. Okay? The shit that's going on over there in Syria right now, we go right to the scriptures right now and break it down to you, man. Okay? Because the Spirit of the Lord is down here on the earth dealing with his men. Okay? So,
and will begin to make inquisition of them what they be that have hurt unjustly with their unrighteousness, and when the affliction of Zion shall be fulfilled.
Yep. And we at the end of this captivity, man. You know? And the prophets of the Lord being out there all throughout the world is a sign that this kingdom is getting ready to fall to the ground, man.
Right.
You know, this is that sign, man. The prophets of the Lord speaking, the men of the Lord speaking these mysteries, speaking these things that you see in this book worldwide. That's a major token, man. Right. That's a major sign. Okay, people are gonna wonder at this thing, man. Go ahead.
And when the world that shall begin to vanish away.
Hey, what world are we currently in now? We in Esau's world. Right. But now we at the end of his world. That's why it's crumbling. That's why it's evaporating, man. It's fading away.
That's right.
Because it's getting ready to become a transition from his world to the world of Jacob, the kingdom. Right. Okay? Huh.
This is 2nd Ezra 6 and 7. Then answered and said, Then answered I and said, What shall be the parting asunder of times? Or when shall be the end of the first, and the beginning of it that followeth?
Go ahead.
And he said unto me, From Abraham unto Isaac, when Jacob and Esau were born of him, Jacob's hand held first the heel of Esau.
Yeah, and brothers already know that count of the story. All right, Esau came out first. He came out red all over like a hairy garment. They call his name Esau, and when he came out, Jacob had held on to the heel of his foot, man.
That's right.
That was all symbolic. Okay, go ahead.
For Esau is the end of the world.
Esau is the end of the world.
And Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth.
And we in the middle of that transition right now. That's why you got the prophets out. That's why you got all these prophecies happening. You know, that's why you got the elect being sealed. All right. When all the elect are sealed, that's when the Lord's gonna let loose those angels, man.
All right.
And they're gonna be responsible for basically destroying this devil, man. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Just a moment to make the word real and living, because a lot of you guys think of the Bible as a fantasy book, like really a newborn baby reached up and grabbed. Yes, because you gotta imagine twins in the womb, right? They're in there in a tight space. You know, so who knows what spiritually was going on with them in there. But on the way out, if you've ever seen a baby being born or twins, the baby or sometimes the twins are wrapped up in each other's umbilical cords or whatever. Limbs, they gotta fit in that tight space. So it's not unrealistic for a baby to be getting pulled out and one of them to have him by the leg, by the foot.
The fight just continued. Because the scriptures tell you it was a struggle within her, within the womb. They've been fighting when they was in there before you came out. Right. They was fighting from that point. So the point of the matter is they was fighting to see who's going to be first out, because spiritually they thought first one out gets the blessing, but the Most High didn't set it up that way. He set it up the opposite way. And he allowed Esau to go out first because he needs to be the servant. So and Jacob, he held it, the spirit of Most High was on that whole situation.
Right. Many things are shown unto men, shown that men do not understand. No, but it's a reality that actually can happen in all these situations. You know, like the fact we was talking about the unicorn, you thinking of a horse with a horn on it. No, man, this goes deeper than that. There's a reality to it. You know, but you gotta have the right understanding, or the Most High has to give you the eyes to see and the ears to hear and the mind to perceive spiritually what's being told.